Question 1. What's likely to happen if you use a hands-free phone while you're driving? D. It will divert your attention. Talking to someone while you're driving can distract you, and, unlike when someone is in the car with you, the person on the other end of a mobile phone is unable to see the traffic situations you are dealing with. They won't stop speaking to you even if you're approaching a hazardous situation. You need to concentrate on your driving at all times. Question 2. What should you do if you can't see clearly behind when you're reversing? D. Ask someone to guide you. If you want to turn your car around, try to find a place where you have good all-round vision. If this isn't possible, and you're unable to see clearly, then get someone to guide you. Question 3. You're in a one-way street and want to turn right. Where should you position your vehicle when there are 2 lanes? A. In the right-hand lane. When you're in a one-way street and want to turn right, you should take up a position in the right-hand lane. This will allow other road users, not wishing to turn, to pass on the left. Indicate your intention and take up the correct position in good time. Question 4. You're approaching a zebra crossing. What should you do if pedestrians are waiting to cross? B. Slow down and prepare to stop. As you approach a zebra crossing, look for pedestrians waiting to cross. Where you can see them, slow down and prepare to stop. Be especially careful of children and older people, who may have difficulty judging when it's safe to cross. Question 5. What should you do when a person herding sheep asks you to stop? B. Stop and switch off your engine. If someone in charge of animals asks you to stop, you should do so and switch off your engine. Animals are unpredictable and startle easily. They could turn and run into your path or into the path of another moving vehicle. Question 6. What does it mean if the signs at a bus lane show no times of operation? C. The lane is in operation 24 hours a day. Bus lane signs show the vehicles allowed to use the lane and its times of operation. Where no times are shown, the bus lane is in operation 24 hours a day. Question 7. You're driving at night on an unlit road. What should you do if you're following another vehicle? B. Use dipped headlights. If you follow another vehicle with your headlights on full beam, they could dazzle the driver. Leave a safe distance and make sure that the light from your dipped beam falls short of the vehicle in front. Question 8. What style of driving causes increased risk to everyone? C. Competitive. Competitive driving increases the risks to everyone, and is the opposite of responsible, considerate and defensive driving. Defensive driving is about questioning the actions of other road users and being prepared for the unexpected. Don't be taken by surprise. Question 9. Which instrument panel warning light would show that headlights are on main beam? A. You should be aware of all the warning lights and visual aids on the vehicle you are driving. If you're driving a vehicle for the first time, you should familiarize yourself with all the controls, warning lights and visual aids before you set off. Question 10. You're traveling at the legal speed limit. What should you do if the vehicle behind approaches quickly, flashing its headlights? D. Allow the vehicle to overtake. Don't enforce the speed limit by blocking another vehicle's progress. This will only cause frustration. Allow the other vehicle to pass when you can do so safely. Question 11. You're driving behind a large goods vehicle. What should you do if it signals left but steers to the right? A. Slow down and let the vehicle turn. Large long vehicles need extra room when making turns at junctions. They may move out to the right in order to make a left turn. Keep well back and don't attempt to pass them on the left. Question 12. You're in a line of traffic. What action should you take if the driver behind is following very closely? B. Slow down, gradually increasing the gap between you and the vehicle in front. If the driver behind is following too closely, there's a danger they'll collide with the back of your vehicle if you stop suddenly. You can reduce this risk by slowing down and increasing the safety margin in front of you. This reduces the chance that you'll have to stop suddenly and allows you to spread your braking over a greater distance. This is an example of defensive driving. Question 13. What should you do to avoid fuel spillage? D. Check that your filler cap is securely fastened. When learning to drive, it's a good idea to practice filling your car with fuel. Ask your instructor if you can use a petrol station and fill the fuel tank yourself. You need to know where the filler cap is on the car you're driving, so you know which side of the pump to park at. Take care not to overfill the tank and make sure you secure the filler cap correctly, so that no fuel leaks onto the road while you are driving. Question 14. What will happen if you follow this vehicle too closely? D. Your view ahead will be reduced. Staying back will increase your view of the road ahead. This will help you to see any hazards that might occur and give you more time to react. Question 15. Which color follows the green signal at a puff-in crossing? C. Steady amber. Puff-in crossings have infrared sensors that detect when pedestrians are crossing and hold the red traffic signal until the crossing is clear. The use of a sensor means there's no flashing amber phase, as there is with a pelican crossing. Question 16. You're traveling along a single-track road. There's a passing place on your right. What should you do if you see a vehicle coming towards you? B. Wait opposite the passing place. When you meet oncoming vehicles on a single-track road, you should allow them to pass. You should pull into a passing place on your left or wait opposite a passing place on your right. Do not move onto the verge as there may be hidden hazards. Question 17. You're driving along this road. What should you do if the red car cuts in close in front of you? C. Drop back to leave the correct separation distance. There are times when other drivers make incorrect or ill-judged decisions. Be tolerant and try not to retaliate or react aggressively. Always consider the safety of other road users, your passengers and yourself. Question 18. You're waiting in a traffic queue at night. How can you avoid dazzling drivers behind you? A. Use the parking brake and release the foot brake. In queuing traffic, your brake lights can dazzle drivers behind you. If you apply your parking brake, you can take your foot off the foot brake. This will turn off the brake lights so that they can't dazzle the driver behind you. Question 19. On a road where trams operate, which vehicles will be most at risk from the tram rails? B. Cycles. The narrow wheels of a bicycle can become stuck in the tram rails, causing the cyclist to stop suddenly, wobble or even lose balance altogether. The tram lines are also slippery, which could cause a cyclist to slide or fall off. Question 20. The conditions are good and dry. When should you use the 2-second rule? B. When checking your gap from the vehicle in front. In good conditions, the 2-second rule can be used to check the distance between your vehicle and the one in front. This technique works on roads carrying faster traffic. Choose a fixed object, such as a bridge, sign or tree. When the vehicle ahead passes this object, say to yourself, only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. If you reach the object before you finish saying this, you're too close. Question 21. You're being overtaken by a long, heavily laden lorry. What should you do if it's taking a long time for it to overtake? B. Slow down. A long lorry with a heavy load will need more time to pass you than a car, especially on an uphill stretch of road. Slow down and allow the lorry to pass. Question 22. What should you do if you're driving a slow-moving vehicle on a narrow winding road? C. Pull in when you can, to let the vehicles behind overtake. If you're driving a slow-moving vehicle along a narrow road, try not to hold up faster traffic. If you see vehicles following behind, pull over in a safe place and let the traffic pass before continuing. Don't wave other traffic past. This could be dangerous if you or they haven't noticed a hazard ahead. Question 23. What should you do if a vehicle pulls out in front of you at a junction? C. Slow down and be ready to stop. Try to anticipate what other drivers might do. Look and plan ahead so that you're ready to respond safely if a hazard develops. Be tolerant of road users who make mistakes. Question 24. What must you do when the amber light is flashing at a pelican crossing? D. Give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. Pelican crossings are signal-controlled crossings operated by pedestrians. Push-button controls change the signals. Pelican crossings have no red and amber stage before green, instead, they have a flashing amber light. This means you must give way to pedestrians who are on the crossing, but if the crossing is clear you can continue. Question 25. When should you flash your headlights at other road users? D. When letting them know that you are there. You should only flash your headlights to warn others of your presence. Don't use them to greet others, show impatience or give priority to other road users, because they could misunderstand your signal. Question 26. When should you use your vehicle's horn? A. To alert others to your presence. You mustn't use your vehicle's horn between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. in a built-up area, or when you are stationary, unless a moving vehicle poses a danger. Its function is to alert other road users to your presence. Question 27. You're approaching an unmarked crossroads. How should you deal with the junction? D. Slow down and look both ways. Be cautious, especially when your view is restricted by hedges, bushes, walls, large vehicles, etc. In the summer months, these junctions can become more difficult to deal with because growing foliage may further obscure your view. Question 28. What type of emergency vehicle is fitted with a green flashing beacon? D. Doctor's car. A green flashing beacon on a vehicle means the driver or passenger is a doctor on an emergency call. Give way to them if it's safe to do so. Be aware that the vehicle may be traveling quickly or may stop in a hurry. Question 29. Why should you never wave people across at pedestrian crossings? A. Another vehicle may be coming. If people are waiting to use a pedestrian crossing, slow down and be prepared to stop. Don't wave them across the road, because another driver may not have seen them, may not have seen your signal, and may not be able to stop safely. Question 30. When should you leave a 2-second gap between your vehicle and the one in front? B. When it's dry. In good dry conditions, a driver needs to keep a distance of at least 2 seconds from the car in front. This should allow enough space for you to stop if the driver in front has to stop suddenly. Question 31. You're driving a car that has a diesel engine. What can a loose filler cap on your fuel tank cause? B. It can make the roads slippery for other road users. diesel fuel can spill out if your filler cap isn't secured properly. This is most likely to occur on bends, junctions and roundabouts, where it will make the road slippery, especially if it's wet. At the end of a spell of dry weather, road surfaces may be especially slippery where diesel has been spilled, but it hasn't been washed away by rain. Question 32. Which type of crossing allows cyclists to ride across with pedestrians? A. Tauchen. A tauchen crossing is designed to allow pedestrians and cyclists to cross at the same time. Look out for cyclists approaching the crossing at speed. Question 33. What should you do when you're overtaking a horse and rider? D. Go past slowly and carefully. Horses can be startled by the sound of a car engine or the rush of air caused by a vehicle passing too closely. Keep well back and only pass when it's safe. Leave them plenty of room, you may have to use the other side of the road to go past safely. Question 34. What should you do if you're being followed by an ambulance showing flashing blue lights? A. Pull over as soon as it's safe to do so. Pull over in a place where the ambulance can pass safely. Check that there are no bollards or obstructions in the road that will prevent it from passing. Question 35. Which vehicle will use a blue flashing beacon? B. Bomb disposal. Emergency vehicles use blue flashing lights. If you see or hear one, move out of its way as soon as it's safe and legal to do so. Question 36. You're driving in traffic at the speed limit for the road. What should you do if the driver behind is trying to overtake? C. Keep a steady course and allow the driver behind to overtake. Keep a steady course to give the driver behind an opportunity to overtake safely. If necessary, slow down. Reacting incorrectly to another driver's impatience can lead to danger. Question 37. What's the minimum time gap you should leave when following a vehicle on a wet road? D. 4 seconds. Water will reduce your tire's grip on the road. The safe separation gap of at least 2 seconds in dry conditions should be doubled to at least 4 seconds in wet weather. Question 38. Who should obey diamond-shaped traffic signs? A. Tram drivers. These signs apply only to tram drivers, but you should know the meaning, so that you're aware of the priorities, and are able to anticipate the actions of the driver. Question 39. Why is it dangerous to travel too close to the vehicle ahead? C. Your view of the road ahead will be restricted. Tailgating is the term used when a driver or rider follows the vehicle in front too closely. It's dangerous because it restricts your view of the road ahead and leaves no safety margin if the vehicle in front needs to slow down or stop suddenly. Tailgating is often the underlying cause of rear-end collisions or multiple pile-ups. Question 40. You're driving on a clear night. Which lights should you use if the national speed limit applies and there's a steady stream of oncoming traffic? C. Dipped headlights. Use the full beam headlights only when you can be sure that you won't dazzle other road users. Question 41. You wish to turn right ahead. Why should you take up the correct position in good time? C. To help other road users know what you intend to do. If you wish to turn right into a side road, take up your position in good time. Move to the center of the road when it's safe to do so. This will allow vehicles to pass you on the left. Early planning will show other traffic what you intend to do. Question 42. What should you do when you're driving in snowy conditions? D. Brake gently in plenty of time. In snowy conditions, be careful with the steering, accelerator and brakes. Braking sharply while you're driving on snow is likely to make your car skid. Question 43. On what type of road surface may anti-lock brakes be ineffective? B. Loose. Poor contact with the road surface could cause one or more of the tires to lose grip on the road. This is more likely to happen when braking in poor weather conditions, and when the road has a loose, slippery or uneven surface. Question 44. You're following a vehicle on a wet road. You stay a safe distance behind it. What should you do if a driver overtakes you and pulls into the gap you've left? C. Drop back to regain a safe distance. Wet weather will affect the time it takes for you to stop and can affect your control. Your speed should allow you to stop safely and in good time. If another vehicle pulls into the gap you've allowed, ease back until you've regained your stopping distance. Question 45. In which conditions will your overall stopping distance increase? A. In the rain. Extra care should be taken in wet weather. On wet roads, your stopping distance could be double that in dry conditions. Question 46. What will be affected if the road surface becomes soft in very hot weather? D. The tire grip. If the road surface becomes very hot, it can soften. Tires are unable to grip a soft surface, as well as they can a firm dry one. Take care when cornering and braking. Question 47. You've just gone through flood water. What should you do to make sure your brakes are working properly? B. Go slowly while gently applying the brakes. Water on the brakes will act as a lubricant, causing them to work less efficiently. Using the brakes lightly as you go along will quickly dry them out. Question 48. You're driving on an open road in dry weather. What distance should you keep from the vehicle in front? A. A 2-second time gap. One way of checking there's a safe distance between you and the vehicle in front is to use the 2-second rule. To check for a 2-second time gap, choose a stationary object ahead, such as a bridge or road sign. When the car in front passes the object, say only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. If you reach the object before you finish saying the phrase, you're too close and need to increase the gap. Question 49. What will help you to move off on a snowy surface? B. Using a higher gear than normal. If you attempt to move off in a low gear, there will be more torque, turning force, at the driven wheels, than if you use a high gear. More torque makes it easier for the tires to lose grip, and so spin the wheels. Question 50. You're following other vehicles in fog. You have your headlights on dipped beam. What else can you do to reduce the chances of being in a collision? D. Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. When it's foggy, use your headlights on dipped beam. This will help you see and be seen by other road users. If visibility is seriously reduced, consider using front and rear fog lights if you have them. Keep to a sensible speed and don't follow the vehicle in front too closely. If the road is wet and slippery, you'll need to allow twice the normal stopping distance.